Hi everyone. Welcome to this session where we are going to be taking up vocabulary for RCs. We know that. My name is Abhilasha and let's get started. Before I begin, of course, remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. Please make sure that you like the session and also share the session with your friends and family so we can, have more and more people join. And also remember to subscribe to the session so that you can participate in the chat. Okay. All right. So, reading comprehension, as we already know, is a very integral part of our CLAT paper, A-Lit paper, or for that matter, SLAT and other exams. Every exam will have some amount of reading comprehension. And that's why it is so important that you work on your reading comprehension. Now, reading comprehension entails two essential things. Number one, of course, is reading at a regular basis. So, therefore, you must make sure that every day you spend some time on reading. And number two, it also entails doing a lot of vocabulary. So that if you're doing your vocabulary, you will be able to read, you'll be able to understand the words faster. And when you understand the words faster, the reading will happen faster, the comprehension will also happen faster. That's why you must make sure that you're doing a lot of practice for your reading comprehension for both vocabulary and reading. In this series that we are doing right now, we are covering vocabulary. We are taking up passages from past CLAT and ILIT papers and we are trying to look at them. I'm trying to create questions based on these so that you can do more and more questions related to vocab when you understand the words of that passage. All right, let's get started. Here's your passage. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I'm going to mute myself and then we will take a look at the questions and subsequently look at everything else. Here's muting you for 2 minutes. All right, guys, your 2 minutes are over. Let me take a look at this passage and we'll try and read and understand. It says, punctually at midday, he opened his bag and spread out his professional equipment, which consisted of a dozen cawdy shells. So he sits up, he opens his bag and brings out his equipment, which is things that he will use, which consisted or comprised a dozen cawdy shells, so these are shells, small ones, a square piece of cloth with obscure mystic charts. Obscure means uh, less known. People don't know much about them. Mystic, of course, is magical. So that kind of charts are a notebook and a bundle of Palmyra writing. His forehead was dazzling with sacred ash and vermilion. So he has some papers, palm leaves on which there is writing, right? That's Palmyra. Okay. His forehead was dazzling. Dazzling means glittering. Okay, forehead was dazzling with glittering. Sorry, my bad. I'm mixing up dazzling and glittering. So his forehead was glittering, shining with sacred, which is holy ash and vermilion. Vermilion is this red paint or red color that we use while doing pujas. Okay, so red orange sort of a color, a paste made of things. Huh? And his eyes sparkled with a sharp, abnormal gleam. So there was this shine. Gleam means shine, huh? And abnormal is strange. So he has this strange gleam in his eyes, which was really an outcome, a result of a continual searching. So he's looking for customers all the time. So that is why there is a sharp gleam in his eyes. But the customers think the clients took it to be a prophetic light. That is, he is predicting, he's an oracle. So they think like that, oh, he is somebody who knows a lot, and they feel comforted. The power of his eyes was considerably enhanced, increased by their position. Now, interesting, the eyes are painted between the painted forehead and the dark whiskers, in between these gleaming eyes. Even a half-wit means a crazy person, stupid person, somebody who's stupid, would sparkle in such a setting. People were attracted to him as bees are attracted to cosmos or dahlia stalks. Stalks means sticks. Okay. So people are attracted to him. He sat under. Now the as is, there is a simile here. Remember, a simile will use words like as. Metaphor uses no word of comparison. He sat under the boughs. Boughs means branches of a spreading tamarind tree, which flanked a path running through the town hall path. Flanked means which was on both sides, right? On both the sides, running through the town hall park. It was a remarkable place in many ways. Surging crowd. Surging means very increasing, right? Crowd was always moving up and down through this narrow road morning till night. A variety of trades and occupations were represented all along its way. Medicine sellers, sellers of stolen hardware and junk, magicians, an auctioneer of cheap cloth who created enough din. Din means noise all day to attract the whole town. Next to him, in vociferousness and loudness, right, came a vendor of fried groundnuts. So he's selling moongfali, who gave his ware means product, a fancy name every day, calling it Bombay ice cream one day, next day Delhi almond, or on the third Raja's delicacy, and so on and so forth. People flocked to him, so they went in big numbers, right? Lots of them. A considerable portion of this crowd dallied. Dallied means spent time, wasted time, right? So they spent time before the astrologer. The astrologer transacted his business by the light of a flare. So it had a small light which crackled, so made some crackle sound and smoked up above the groundnut heap nearby. So it would crackle. So he was doing his business there. All right. So that's your passage. Let's look at the questions. What does professional equipment refer to in the context of the astrologer? Tools for manual labor? No, items used for specific trade. That is why professional equipment, things that would help him in his profession. So therefore your correct answer will be B. Let's take a look at the next question. Which of the following best defines mystic in obscure mystic charts? Logical, supernatural, or enigmatic, practical, or obvious? Of course, it has to be supernatural or enigmatic. It's not logical, not practical, not obvious. Very clearly, the others will be incorrect. So, what is sacred in his forehead was dazzling with sacred ash imply. So, the forehead, his matha, this portion, the upper portion of his head, was dazzling, shining, glittering, right? Shining or glittering with sacred ash. So, of course, there was sacred means, of course, holy or religious. We know that. We've discussed this. So, ordinary, no. Decorative, no. Unimportant, no. The word prophetic in a prophetic light. Prophetic light means in a Prophet is who? A prophet is someone who predicts how things will be. He tells you about the future, right? He is also what you call someone who adumbrates or prognosticates. You adumbrate or you prognosticate. That means you say what the future is going to be, correct? So, therefore, predictive will work. Not dull and lifeless, not illusory, not historical. Predictive. Someone who will tell you what the future will hold. Okay. All right. What is enhanced in the power of his eyes was considerably enhanced. So his the power that his eyes had. See, the eyes were here. There was this vermilion tika, and with ash and vermilion, and then there were his eyes. Right. Please forgive me for that ugly drawing. Huh? It's pretty ugly. And then he had like these huge mustache just flowing down his face. Right. I know it's a very ugly picture, but now imagine these eyes. They're going to be so glittery between this and this, right? So therefore, power was enhanced, it was increased, improved, yeah. So made better. I got such terrible drawing powers. What is meant by transacted in the astrologer? Transacted his business. He did his business, yes. So not ignored. Can we use conducted? Yes. Can we use delayed? No. Can we use cancelled? No. So best answer will be conducted. What does dallied in a considerable portion of this crowd dallied before the astrologer imply? So a large size, considerable means large portion size of this crowd dallied. They stood there, wasted their time. Okay. So they're just wasting time. Okay. So therefore loitered, not rushed past, not avoided, not ignored. So the best word here will be loitered. Spent time. Lazy. Okay, lazied around. Okay, that. Alright, which of the following best defines auctioneer as used in an auctioneer cheap cloth? So he's someone who's auctioning. Auction means to sell things, right? So therefore, person who's a buyer, no. A person who conducts public sales, yes. Who tailors clothes, no. Who manufactures things. Clearly, the answer is somebody who conducts public sale. So an auctioneer will bring products and he will say, okay, whoever will give me the highest price for a product, I will sell my product to that person. So the sale is very public. Okay, that's why auctioneer. The term din created in all right, let's take a look at this question. The term din created enough din all day. So what are they creating? They're creating a very loud noise, correct? So in loud noise, what can we take? We can take silence, no. We can take continuous noise, okay, because it is happening all day. Soft whispers, no, it is loud, so therefore it can't be soft whispers. Can it be short interruptions? No. Let's go with loud noise, continuous noise. There's another word you can use, boisterous, which is also loud and noisy. You can use obstreperous, which is also loud and noisy. Okay. All right, so that's your answer for din. Let's go to the next question. What does flanked, in which flanked a path mean? So here is a path and this is the thing that is flanking it. So essentially flanking means to be on both sides of something. Okay, to be on both sides of something. Okay, so therefore on both sides will be a very clear answer. It can't be blocked or guarded or disconnected. So your answer is going to be option number C. All right, let's take a look at our actual questions. Which among the following is not a trade or occupation represented in the pathway running through the town hall park? Okay, magicians, medicine seller, auctioneer of cheap bags, and seller of stolen hardware. Let's quickly take a second and go back to the passage and see this. Okay, so who all were there? There was a medicine seller, there was a seller of stolen hardware and junk, there was a magician, and there was an auctioneer of cheap cloth also. All right, so let's take a look at our options. So auctioneer, the magician is there, medicine seller is there, seller of stolen hardware is there. Auctioneer of cheap bags is not there. It said auctioneer of cheap cloth or clothes. So therefore C is the one that is not a trade, and so your correct answer. Okay. So C. By the way, this question, the answer in CLAT was option number D, seller of stolen hardware. But from reading the passage, you know that it cannot be seller of stolen hardware. It is given there. So that is not a trade, that is not represented. So please keep this in mind. Who among the following use names like Bombay ice cream, Delhi almond, and Raja's delicacy? Again, I'm going to take you back to the passage for just a second. We know the answer very clearly. Next to him in vociferousness, and I will mark this out for you. Next to him in vociferousness came a vendor of fried groundnut. So he's selling peanut or groundnut. He calls it Bombay ice cream, Raja delicacy, Delhi almond, and so on. Okay. So therefore, the answer is very, very clear. It is the groundnut seller, not ice cream, not seller of medicine, not seller of cheap cloth. Okay. All right. According to the author, oh, this is an incorrect question, guys. Okay. What is the meaning of vociferousness? Vociferous, of course, is expressing your opinions or feelings in a loud and confident manner. When did the astrologer usually start his day's business? He started punctually at midday. The very first part of the passage says that very clearly. Punctually at midday, he opened up his bag and set out his professional equipment. So, answer has to be C. It cannot be D, B, or A. What was considered as a prophetic light by the simple client? So remember, we talked about how the astrologer had a big vermilion tikka on his forehead, and he had a large mustache. And because the eyes were set between the mustache and the vermilion tikka, so therefore the clients would consider it a prophetic light, right? So therefore, the sparkling eyes of the astrologer with the abnormal gleam, which was in between the forehead and the dark whiskers. So that is the prophetic light. So your answer had to be B. Again, forgive me for the drawings. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of this question. Maybe you can tell me how many questions did you get right, your score for this test. If you have any more questions, I'm here for a minute. You feel free to ask me. Thank you so much, everyone. Remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. I feel happy when you give me your likes and your shares. Of course, subscribing helps you because you can also do a chat with us. If you have any comments, anything special that you would like me to discuss in other sessions, please make sure that you do write this in the chat box. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.